and welcome to my gallery. Welcome to my channel, Enjoy Watercolour Painting. I'm Diana. I paint in watercolours, and this week I've been really inspired by the changing of the season, the coming of autumn, the low sun which creates shadows and filters through the trees. I've had chance to go out and about a little to see the countryside, which is beautiful. And so the subject of our video today is just that, the low light, how to keep light, how to produce contrast to enhance the shadows, and how to use the brush and water to give us those effects. So let's paint. I'm starting my picture today with four palettes. Transparent yellow, transparent orange, and then two interesting palettes, one with Indian red and cobalt turquoise, and the other one with Windsor blue green shade and burnt sienna. I have a sheet of Arches watercolour paper, 300 gram, which I'm wetting thoroughly with size 10 mop brush, leaving, as you see, a dry area virtually in the middle of the paper. This is because, as you see, I'm adding yellow now, some of the transparent yellow, just around the dry edge so that it runs and goes into the wet area, following on with some not Indian red, transparent orange, letting it move. This is to establish a light area in the middle. This picture is going to be very spontaneous. I haven't tried it beforehand. I'm just starting and seeing what happens. But the plan is to have that as the source of light and to create contrast around with light filtering through trees. So here we go, using the two dark palettes that I have, the Indian red and the cobalt turquoise, and the Windsor blue green shade with my burnt sienna, to give sombre tones of the leaves of the trees. Not worrying about the trees themselves at this stage, but just adding the contrast alongside my light colours of transparent orange and transparent yellow. I'm using a mop brush, this lovely size 10 mop brush with the point, to put just little blobs of colour in a very random way. I seem to use that word a lot, but this is how it works really. Just spotting on the colour, and because the paper is wet, they're going to blend, which is what we want. So it's very loose, it's just putting paint on the paper and seeing what happens, which is the way I like to work. Don't worry if you see that the light source in the middle has now got colour creeping into it, because we can use the mop brush to take out that colour. There's always a way of mopping off colour when you're working wet on wet, and so it's not to be worried about at this stage. I'm just dotting the colour on. I did use my brush more in a flat horizontal way, where I want to indicate that there's a little path in the picture leading to the light. The idea I got for this picture was from a photograph that I took of the sun setting low in the trees. But I'm not looking at the picture. I'm trying to just remember how it was. And this way you don't get too bogged down in the detail. So this is the plan. And as you see, I'm taking out the lighter areas now with my clean mop brush, and also taking out shafts of light, cutting across the contrasting colours that I put on. This is an essential part of keeping light in your picture, that dazzling effect when you're looking full into the sun and you can't see the detail and the light takes over. And this is the effect that I want to create. Whether it will work or not, not sure. You'll have to judge for yourself when you see the picture at the end. And I've speeded it up so that it doesn't take too long. The brush is really good at moving the paint. This is because it's a natural hairbrush and will absorb the colours. And of course the paper, being a good quality paper, isn't going to give out on me. I've let it dry now and it's almost dry. Just a little bit of moisture still left in the paper, enough to use a tissue to take out a bit more colour in some areas. Now I want to consolidate the darker areas, adding again little blobs, this time using my liner brush and the same two dark palettes, which I'm alternating and just in a random way, and the painting is speeded up. Can't move that fast these days. But it's just now creating the contrast between my shafts of light and the darker detail of the leaves of the trees, which really aren't there yet, but they will be before we've finished. I really like this sort of picture. It's quite exciting to work on. You've got to work quite speedily, and because watercolours blend and work themselves and don't stop working when you leave them on the paper, it's always a little bit of a gamble as to how it turns out. And if I had 6 people here with me now painting in the gallery and we were all doing the same thing, everyone would turn out different, which is the joy of it really. I've decided to put more of the warm colours, the yellow and the orange, on this side, on the left-hand side of the picture, just so that it doesn't become too sombre. And we do need that balance between the warm colours and the colder contrasting colours. And always the little bit of damp tissue comes in handy just to keep those rays of light in place. Now using a bigger brush just to add more contrast. I really like this brush. It delivers the colour and the paint, but it's also got that lovely point, so you can really put detail in and enjoy creating an effect. And this of course is the foreground, so we want more texture, and we can use the point to give the effect of grasses and vegetation without really much effort at all. There's my flatter area again, which is a path leading towards the light. We need more detail in the foreground just to take you through into the light. That's the aim anyway. So here we are, it's dry now, and this is where we start to think about the tree trunks and how they cut across the light that we have. I'm using the yellow acrylic brush just to take out some colour, to give me a guide as to where the trees are going to go. And I've got my dark palette, well, using the two really combined. I don't want to introduce any more browns. I'm just using this combination, which is really dark green, but it will sit well with the colours that are already on the picture. And really now I'm emphasising the trunk just on one side for a start, in between the rays of light. Bit tricky because you can lose your way if you're not careful. But where the light in the centre is really bright, it's just a hint of the tree branch, and then we go darker on the other side. Remember, we've always got the fact that I can use either the mop brush or a tissue to take out the colour if I do happen to stray across one of the shafts of light. I'm just kind of trying to put the trees in where I think they're going to have the most impact. Again, not referring to any image at all, so hopefully it's going to be okay. There will be trees further back and they'll be paler, so I'm just diluting the colour a little more, and then bringing the trunk down into the darker area, as you see. Where the rays of light are, I'm just using water to blend the colour across a little, but as you see, we can always take out that light again to give that dazzling appearance. Painting light is kind of a contradiction. We don't paint the light, we keep the light that's already there, the white of the paper, and just protect it, and then put the contrast in, which emphasises the light. Acrylics, of course, you put the white in afterwards, but with watercolour you've got the light there, you just haven't got to lose it, which is the challenge. I think that bigger tree in the foreground is going to help the composition a little, and the stronger, darker colour will give the contrast against the light. Now I can have fun with a bit more colour, which is what I like to do. It's lovely just to drop it in. That blue's, the Windsor Blue Green shade is a great colour to use, and I can move it a little and just let it blend with the browns. Lovely palette to use, and the Indian red as well. And some little points of light left, which are really good and give texture to the foreground. Oh, that's improved, I think that's improved and given us a lot more contrast. I hope you try this and have fun with it. Doesn't really matter if it doesn't work out. It's just a good exercise in using the water and using different brushes to create the effect. And this is the way you learn. More trees further back, using the Indian red this time. That blends better with the background, so they'll be less important. Now I think I need to start thinking about the leaves just giving us a little bit more structure on the tree branches. The foreground is now dominating, so I'm going back to my Indian red and adding darker contrasting colour. The lighter colour behind will give depth to the picture and make the trees more important, balancing with the foreground, which is what we want. Water added makes the colour move a little, but just put the water alongside the colour that you've put on, and then it won't move it completely. It will just give some lighter tones and softer tones around. Managing water is a difficult thing. The more you do, the more you practice, the better you'll be. It's just a question of keeping going with it. I think we'll have some orangey tones down here. This is always the lighter side, contrasting with the darker foreground. And the blues sit well with the orange and the red, the Indian red. Oh, sorry about the little beastie. I think it's a little spider has just wandered across my camera lens. Oh, and there he goes back again. Hope he's enjoying the video too. And there we have it. I hope you enjoyed my video and it's inspired you to have a go at painting loose and painting free and just enjoying the colours on the paper. It certainly proved to be an adventure in autumn colours, and to capture the light is always a delight. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe and like, and leave any comments that you may have. Meantime, enjoy painting, enjoy trying different techniques, let the paint flow. Till the next time, bye.